Hey everybody, it's Mike Nelson from EfficientLending.net. First and foremost, thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel, my content, my blog, wherever you're finding my online. I always appreciate it when people check out my content. All right, let's just jump right into it today. I've got an RSS feed reader which I use to really synthesize and assemble headlines from the reputable news sources in the mortgage industry. And so I was right around the 4th of July. I was checking out the last week or so's headlines, I think from June 26th to the July 3rd. And I just skimmed them, picking articles which I was going to read. And I picked out 6 for us today to talk about. And here was my takeaway. How can anybody make sense of this crazy market? It just looks like doublespeak. If you're not in this business every day, how can you assimilate all this information and make a good purchase mortgage decision on the property you want to buy? So I figured I'd do a quick blog on this today, see if I can't shed some light. I've got 3 foundations in the market, kind of pillars, foundational pillars that I think can really help this. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to read off 6 of these headlines. You'll see them on your screen here as well. The first one, mortgage rates fall again. I've read that headline. I'm like, holy cow. If I called 10 people right now, I promise you, and it said, are rates going up or down? I guarantee all 10 people are going to say rates are rising. So how do we have an article about mortgage rates falling? Rising rates aren't slowing down home buyers. Headline to another article. I'm thinking, wait a minute, didn't we just establish that rates are falling? And then mortgage application volume slips. Okay, now I'm confused because the other article I read said buyers aren't slowing down. How to successfully buy an investment property. Okay, hang on. If rates are slowing down or going, why is anybody investing? That's a good question to ask. Housing market remains strong despite mortgage rate worries. That sounds counterintuitive to me. And we've already established that rates are falling in that other article. And then one of my favorite headlines was new record set for median price, days on market. Now this is a confusing one because does that mean median price is going up or does it mean it's going down? And is days on market getting longer or is it getting shorter? So it occurred to me, you know what, I'm going to do a blog on this and see if I can't distill what this apparent doublespeak really means, because actually it's not. All of these articles were, I thought, from very reputable news sources. I thought they were well researched. I thought they were accurate. But I get it because I'm reading this stuff and I'm working in the industry every day. If you're just coming in and out in the purchase cycle on a home, this is going to be pretty confusing. So question is, how do you understand this information and then how do you make a good financial decision? So let's tap in. Here are my 3 pillars or 3 foundations in the marketplace. And if you read the information, kind of thinking through these 3 foundations, I think you'll get some clarity. So the 3 are interest rates do not rise and they do not fall in a vacuum. This is very important. Just pick some key economic indicators that you believe will cause rates to rise or fall, and you're going to start to understand these articles that are coming through. And I'm going to unpack that here in a minute and just suggest a couple that I follow closely. Inventory levels will change. People don't necessarily realize this. Understand inventory. Let's take Colorado. Inventory is constricted all over the country right now. Inventory in Colorado is brutal, and it's really impacting the market. And so just understand inventory levels will change, understand that, and then you can make a decision accordingly. And mortgage products matter. Most people don't understand or realize this, but there are many, many mortgage products, and they're all really pretty good products, but they're all designed to handle markets that have rising interest rates or markets where loan to values are getting higher. So if you're not working with somebody that can explain how these products work, you're going to be at a disadvantage. All right, let me unpack these 3 foundational kind of components or pillars just a little bit here in just a few minutes. First off, interest rates do not rise and fall in a vacuum. So the economy is not structured by whether the Fed raises rates or not. So like the Fed's not saying, okay, I'm flipping a coin today, we're raising rates, and then all of a sudden, unemployment and things change. It's the other way around. Rates are reflective of what's happening in the economy. I follow 2 components very closely because I think these 2 components, by and large, as it relates to mortgages and mortgage-backed securities, which determine interest rates for mortgages, are the key indicators. Unemployment. In periods of low unemployment, we're going to see rising interest rates. And then inflation. When inflation is low, you're going to see falling interest rates, and when inflation is high, you're going to see interest rates rise. Why is that? Interest rates rise to keep a lid on inflation. Inflation is the definition of it's pretty easy. It's just more and more money chasing fewer and fewer goods. So if inflation is rising, that's because of wage growth and unemployment, then we have to worry about the cost of house going up so quickly that people cannot continue to purchase houses. So what happens is Fed raises interest rates. Interest rates help to keep a lid on inflation, which keeps a lid on the rising home prices. So rising interest rates is really a good thing when it's handled properly by the Fed, and that's because it means unemployment's low and there's a lot more money in the market because wages are rising. Conversely, falling interest rates generally stimulate an economy. So if the economy is constricting, rates come down, makes the cost of money cheaper, so more people can leverage what resources they have. Hopefully that will stimulate the economy. All right, so that's the idea. Interest rates don't rise and fall in a vacuum. Personally, I think for the average layperson, follow inflation and unemployment, and you'll get a good pulse on what's happening for your decision making. Second pillar, inventory levels will change. So understand, when wage growth is happening, unemployment's going down. That means the economy is robust, and that means homeowners have more equity in their homes. Well, sooner or later, homeowners decide, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of that equity. I'm going to upgrade my home, or I'm going to do a cash out refinance, and I'm going to buy a second home or an investment property. When that happens, you're going to see a loosening of inventory because you're going to get more market churn. Okay, so in an expanding economy, sooner or later, we're going to see the inventory levels loosen. It's not really happening right now, but it's going to. And just be prepared to take advantage of that when it does. And I'll tap into one of the headline articles here as well. New record set for median price days on market. What that article was about is that the median price had risen. That means equity is rising in the home. The days on market had constricted. Okay, so what that meant is people own more of their house, so they have more equity. The days on market is constricting. So what that means is there's just simply less supply of houses to meet the demand. And that goes back to the headline that talked about mortgage application volume slip. The only reason why mortgage application volume slipped is because there wasn't enough supply of homes. If there were more homes on the market, they would have been purchased and the mortgage app volume would not have slipped. So those two articles are really not contradicting each other, but you have to understand these market dynamics. Just realize inventory levels are going to change. Be prepared to take advantage of it when the inventory level is right for you. The last one real quick, mortgage products matter, and this is really important. You have to work with a lending team and a real estate agent that understands the nuances of all the mortgage products that are in the marketplace. If you're working with a lender and the first thing out of their mouth is 30-year fixed at such and such a rate, they haven't done the due diligence and the legwork required to help you understand how to take advantage of your particular situation. Just understand, there are mortgage products designed to handle the higher loan to value ratios that are happening right now. Debt to income ratios. Right now, Fannie and Freddie go up to 50%. A year ago, they went to 43-ish, 45%. So that's loosening up the requirements so more people can enter the market. Guys, there are great mortgage products for self-employed borrowers in investment properties. I'm not going to go into the detail of those right now because I just don't have time. But understand, if you're in those categories, don't just call a lender or just don't go to some online app, fill it out, and think you're going to get the right product, because you're not. You have to work with the agent and you have to work with the lender to understand how the mortgage products reflect the current market conditions. Last thing I'm going to point out real quickly. So I hear a lot of people right now concerned that we're going to be at a housing financial crisis again, just like we were in 2007. And so they don't want to enter the market. Two things on this. Number one, the mortgage product mix, the mortgages that are collateralized against the properties that exist today, it is a completely different world than 2007. So if you think the financial crash is going to happen because 2007 is going to repeat itself, it's just not going to happen. Those mortgages don't exist. It's just not there. The regulation changed that. The second thing is this. We have insurance products, AFN, American Financial Network. We have a down payment protection plan. If you believe the market's going to go down, but you still want to enter, you can get a relatively low cost insurance plan that will protect the downside on your down payment should the market go down. So you can hedge or protect yourself against a declining market if you so choose. So understand. I hope these three kind of foundations will give you some clarity. Understand, interest rates don't rise and fall in a vacuum. I think the layperson can do really well just following the information on unemployment and inflation, and you're going to get a good idea what's going to happen with interest rates. Inventory levels are going to change. Just watch for the inventory levels to change. Have a relationship with the real estate agent. They should be able to address this with you. Your lender should be able to address inventory with you. And be ready to use the right mortgage product, because it matters, my third pillar, when the inventory levels change to your liking. Hey, I hope this helps. I hope it's meaningful. Look, complex topic, I get it. Call me anytime. You can get my contact information in the slide coming up here. And I'd love to talk to you in greater detail on this topic and really other in the mortgage industry. So, hope that helps. I hope you have a great week, and thanks again for watching.